Welcome to Can Women Have It All? Maintaining this work-life balance. I am your host, Ms. Sade Adu. I'm an educator, a speaker, a life coach, a doctoral student, and most importantly, I am a busy woman who is trying to figure out how in the world I can have it all. I have not managed that successfully yet, and that's why we're having this March into Greatness webinar series to inspire women and men, because I know there's some gentlemen listening out there, to be our best selves and live our greatest lives, and to get tips and tricks and tools and action plans on how to do this. So when I was thinking about this particular webinar, especially in Women's History Month, I wanted to get women who were doing amazing things and who were history makers in the making. They were making history right now. And I wanted to get women with diverse backgrounds that had different things going on with them and also an entrepreneurial spirit. So our panelists that we're going to be talking to today are amazing. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about them. First, we have, and I know she gave me her bio, but I'm going to just go off the rip, Miss Terry Lomax. Miss Terry Lomax is the founder of MochaGirlPitstop.com. This is a website to empower women of color all over the place, and she just has an amazing story, and I want her to actually tell you a little bit more about herself. I'm going to give you like a little tidbit about everyone, but I found out about Terry a couple of months ago, and she had as a matter of fact, almost a year ago. And Terry had a book called Breaking Up with Procrastination. And I read her book, and it was absolutely amazing. And somehow, some idea came to me that I needed to contact her. And her book about breaking up with procrastination really got me on this, build up my momentum to actually start this Savvy Life Coach, get my life in order, and actually do something. Because I was in a serious relationship with procrastination. And because of Terry's book, she gave me some tangible things that I could do to get my life in order. So I'm so happy that Miss Terry is on, Miss Blogger, social media guru. If you don't know her, you really need to get to know her. She is amazing. Next we have Miss Melissa Jakes. I was about to call her her maiden name because that's how I know her. I know her as Melissa Longley, but Mrs. Jakes is married. She's married, y'all. So call her Mrs. Jakes. Miss Melissa Jakes she is an event planner, and she's going to tell us more about her business. She's a mother, she's a wife, so we had to get that in here. I know millennials are pushing back marriage, they're pushing back the family life, but I needed someone on this webinar who could talk to that element of life. And I have a picture of her in her wedding dress, Miss Jakes, goodness gracious. She's going to be that element to tell us, what is it like to be a mother. And I know her baby just turned 6 months, I think last week. Congratulations. Yeah. And she'll be telling us about motherhood, working, being an entrepreneur, being a wife, being a student. How do you get all these things to work? Because I can't figure it out, and I don't have a husband or a baby, and I can't figure it out. And then we have Miss Sandra, and we have Miss Nicole. Now, I wanted to put a picture of them together, but I know they're two individuals, so I couldn't put a picture of them together. They are two of the trio of the Talk About It series, the podcast series. It's amazing. If you haven't listened to Talk About It, they will tell you about it. Miss Cassandra and Miss Nicole, we all went together along with Miss Jakes. We all went to Morgan State University, and they are absolutely amazing. They have so many tricks. They're so creative, and they have so many things up their sleeve that I can't even keep up with what they got going on. So I'm going to let them talk about it because they have so many things that they're going to share with you. And I know you don't want to just hear from me. You want to hear from our lovely panel. So I am going to go back and unshare.
Oh my gosh, really? That picture is so old.
What? Okay, did I stop sharing my screen?
Yes, you stopped.
I know. I couldn't find the pictures in time. That's what happens when I procrastinate. I need to go back to Terry's book. I procrastinated. Okay.
You're so funny.
I want to start with you guys just tell me a little bit more about yourselves. I gave a brief bio. They actually sent me their bio, but I wanted you guys to hear from them, and then I can go from there. I have questions to ask you guys. And I just wanted to really be about you four ladies this evening because you have amazing stories and I want people to hear from you. So who would like to start first? I can go with the list. Well,
Right.
on the list, we'll go with
It's your show.
All right. Sounds good. That means it's
Terry.
all right. So as Sade said, my name is Terry Lomax, and I'm a blogger, speaker, and author, but I came from very humble beginnings. I was raised in an abusive household where my mom was physically and verbally abusive, and that abuse took a toll on every aspect of my life. I struggled with low self-esteem, depression. She was also in and out of jail, so our family was homeless at a few points. And I found that when I was in college, I went away to college, and I found at that time that my younger siblings were my why, my reason for living. And so they've really motivated me to do everything that I'm doing today. And by God's grace, I've been able to start this blog, Mocha Girls Pit Stop, which is a place where women of color are inspired to refuel on motivation, to ignite their lives, and to become their best selves. And that has been my therapy. I wouldn't say that I have it all together, but I will say that the blog has been, like I said, therapeutic for me, and it allows me to connect with other women and share stories. And so that's just a little snippet about my story. Thank you, Sade, for having me as well.
In addition to her being a blogger, speaker, being able to overcome adversity, she is also engaged. She forgot to say that.
Hey.
Yes, I am engaged.
Different,
Thank you. Yes.
Miss
July is the day. Yes. I am engaged as well. Newly engaged, and me and my fiance just moved in together. So that adds a whole nother component to the time management and having it all.
Yes.
Yes, it really does.
So lit. Thank you for sharing with us, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. Melissa, you are next. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Melissa Jakes. I was born in Prince George's County, still a Maryland girl. I currently started an organization or a business, event planning business called Rescue Event Planning. I was always told I had a niche for it. So my husband earlier this year was like, you need to start a business because you keep doing everybody's events and you're really good at it. So that was my support system, and I started it. Before then, I went to the Morgan State University. I'm currently now at Howard. I know it's a contradiction, but I go to Howard. I'm doing my master's in social work, and I finished in December.
Yay.
So I'm excited about that.
Yay.
And then, yes, I'm married, and I have a baby. And so all of these together, it sounds crazy, but that's how I like to live. I like to be on the move. So Rescue Event Planning, we do all types of events. And budget friendly. I don't believe in spending and wasting people's money and getting what they're worth. So that's just a bit about me.
Excellent. Now we're going to have Miss K. Cassandra.
Hiya. Okay. Super quick. Born and raised New Yorker, Brooklyn, New York. I came to Baltimore to go to Morgan. So I met all these lovely ladies at Morgan State University. That's where I met my business and partner in crime, Nicole. We literally think all of our mastermind ideas we think of together. From our talk show, it was our podcast, Talk About It. It was something that we conceptualized, and we'd watch things like Girl Code and listen to things like The Read, and this is our show. We're supposed to be doing this. And we decided that one day, I worked at a radio station, and we decided one day we're going to make use of that resource, and we would do our own podcast. I would say that I came from a little bit of humble beginnings myself. I'm first generation American. You know, those kind of parents, they come with the dream. They come here to work hard, buy a house, and they've achieved everything. And I'm trying to just learn my own American dream, and because it's much more than that. I was a high school dropout. I came to Morgan. Morgan gave me a chance. I had my GED. Came to Morgan. I almost dropped out of Morgan. And I graduated Morgan finally, and now I'm a student at University of Baltimore in their Masters of Arts program, doing the publication design. So we do graphics. We like to brand people. We do communications, all kind of communications goodies. So that's what we do. Well, that's what I do. She knows what she does too.
Excellent.
Right. I can pretty much say ditto, but
you will not say that.
right. My name is Nicole Edmonds, Cola for short, as these three ladies probably know me as. Also from New York, not from Brooklyn. I'm from the Bronx, and came to Morgan for school. I got my bachelor's in marketing. That's really where my passion lies with marketing. Graphic design, branding, public relations, and I'm also in the master's program at the University of Baltimore for publications design. Just trying to sharpen those skills that I feel I already have to move forward so we can get started on this business that we've been talking about for years. We always have like these crazy ideas.
And people execute them.
Yeah.
And we go, that's our idea.
Right, so we're still learning how to execute them, and I need that book.
Procrastination.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Perfect. This is what I'm talking about. All of the people, some of us know each other, but some of us do not know each other. This is why I wanted to bring these ladies together, because Terry's going to help us to stop procrastinating, and Cassandra and Cole are going to start their business and get it off the ground, and is going to do their launch party. So we are
right. There you go.
Yes.
And that's what we need as women. We always need a support system of women who are like-minded, who want to do more and have more. So this is why you guys are together, and you are experts for the evening. So the first question is basically the name of this. It's kind of, I guess, cliche, can women have it all? But it was something that was a simple question, and people still have this. We still haven't figured out the answer. So I'm going to ask you guys, can women have it all? What's your advice for women who want to have it all? Especially, I guess, with millennials, we feel like we can do this and we can do that. So my question to you is, can women have it all?
Women can definitely have it all. I mean, we've been having it all. We create life. I mean, I don't know how that... It's amazing that we can even do that and carry on with our regular life. So, I mean, we've been having it all. How? I don't know. I mean, that's the question that we're all going to figure out today. We just all manage somehow to create life and to nurture and then to take care of ourselves, take care of our own aspirations, our own goals. So, yeah, we've been doing it all.
Right. I could say that after giving birth that next day, I asked the nurse, can I get up and move? I feel like I can conquer the world right now. I truly believe we can have it all. It's all about how much you can take. It may not be 5 things at one time, it may be 2, but that may be your all. And I think we can do it.
I think women can do everything. I often heard from like older women that you can have it all, but not all at the same time. That some things are going to outweigh others at different times in your life. And I really take heed to that advice, because some things I see I need to push back in order to push forward on something else. And it's really about finding that balance. But that doesn't mean that all balls are not on the court.
Right.
I like that tweetable. Yeah. You can have it all, but not at the same time. We're gonna have
go.
Somebody tweet that.
I like that.
I'm on it.
Have it all, but not at the same time. Excellent. I love that.
Kay says she's on it. I'm going to retweet that. I would agree too. I think that women can definitely have it all.
Terry is going to retweet.
What was that, shot? I got you. I think that we could definitely have it all. I think it really does depend on the woman herself and what she wants and what her ideal life looks like. And like Kay said, I think that I've heard that too. Women can have it all, but just not at the same time, or not all at the same time. And I think when you look at your life, and let's say you want to pursue your career, but you also want to have children, sometimes you may have to put certain things on hold. But I think hands down, like Nicole said, we've been having it all before. We can definitely have it all. It's just a matter of, do we have the willpower, the support, like Melissa mentioned, and the just really the willpower to just go forth and make it happen.
Excellent. So we have some ladies on who are they also have jobs, they have 9 to 5s, and they also go to school. So the ones that are on here that have the 9 to 5s and that go to school, how do you balance that? Because I know we have some students on that want to figure that out. Last week we talked about being fit, maintaining a healthy lifestyle while being in school. and we gave some tips and strategies about that. But I want to know, how do you manage your work life and your school life?
I'll start. Can I start if you guys don't mind?
No, go ahead.
The first
course.
important thing is I'm very transparent with my manager. When my school schedule comes out, I go straight to my manager. I'm like, I need to work 8 to 4 on Wednesdays. Can we do that? And she gives me the yay or nay, and she's really understanding. I've been very lucky, but I'm extremely transparent about my needs when it comes to school, and I don't play with my 9 to 5 time. When it is, if I could give the extra time where need be, I do. If I cannot, I don't push it. Point blank, period, because they understand that I have another priority that I actually pay for out of my pocket. So, I gotta balance between those two. Working 9 to 5, I meal plan. I plan a lot of things ahead as much as I can, and that allows me to make way for incidentals that happen during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can plan as much as I can, I get on a really good sleep schedule. Sleep is important. Sleep is like my number one priority. So the sleep schedule is really important so I can be productive. Because I'm not one of those people that can burn the midnight oil and be functional and productive and creative in the way that I need to be at my job and at school, which is so creatively demanding. So get a sleep schedule, develop a meal plan system for yourself, and not only are you going to save your time, but you'll save your money.
Saving time and saving money. That's what I like to hear. Who else would like to speak to this?
I would say being organized. It definitely is very important. I have a Google Calendar for work, for school, for a job, for family. So, and I have them all intertwined. I can look at my phone before I double book myself. And keeping homework at home and trying to do it at home and not at work, because that's very important to make sure your 9 to 5 is stable. Just like Cassandra said, I definitely have a great supervisor that's understanding. He was in doing his master's as well while he was working, so he was a great support. Every time the schedule comes out, hey, most of my classes are at night, so it works out. But some classes kind of get a little early to that evening time, and then I'm able to flex my hours. So keeping a schedule, keeping a calendar, and just knowing when things are due for school, because you have those deadlines, like those 10-page paper due tomorrow. Make sure you're getting like at least 2 to 3 days before. That would be very important.
Excellent. Now, Terry, I wanted to switch the question for you because I know you've talked about this in previous blog posts. How do you balance your work schedule and your business schedule?
Okay. So currently, I'm doing something that I never thought I'd be able to do. I feel like sometimes we're thrown into positions in life and we're like, how did this happen? You look back on it later, like, how did I do this? Because I currently work 40 hours a week, and I've never worked 40 hours a week in my life. And people who do it, hands down, you got it, because it's very difficult when you're trying to pursue a passion on the side as well. So I work the 40 hours, right? 8:30 to 5, come home. Sometimes I prepare dinner, other times I don't. Don't judge me. And I used to debrief with my fiance, and then I work on. I'm being real. And then I work on my side hustle, which is some work that I do with a company called Cool Speak, right? Sade knows about Cool Speak, the youth engagement company, right? Then I do blog work, and I have to find time for my relationship, for myself, and for my family at home. So usually, like Melissa said, I use Google Calendar. Google Calendar is my Bible. I put everything in Google Calendar minus meals and going to the bathroom. Everything else, Google Calendar. My friends judge me because when we have get-togethers, it's on Google Calendar, and I'll send them an invite because you don't want to overbook yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's a perfect way to kind of see your life from a bird's eye view and map it out accordingly. So that's what I do now. But I think it's also important, despite what your schedule looks like, it's important to know what you want in your ideal life. And I do have a vision for my ideal life, and I plan to get there one day, but I'm just in a certain space now where I'm not there, you know what I mean? So it's important to always have that end goal in mind.
Excellent, excellent. You guys, I mean, we're going to go back into it. Time management. What is your time management strategy? So we have a mother, we have a newly engaged lady on the line. We do have some people in relationships. people who are dating and some single ladies. So what is your time management strategy? We'll go, I think the next question will be about relationships. I'm trying to figure that one out too, so we'll talk about that. This question, time management strategy. I heard about the Google Calendar. I use Google Calendar. I have a broken iPad. I have a phone, some other gadgets, and I write it down in addition to all of those other things. So what are you guys doing to balance your time and prioritize what needs to be prioritized?
Right. So Sundays.
I think.
No, go ahead.
You got it, Melissa. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll go after you.
Sundays are my family time. Out of all the other days of the week, my husband and I, we sit down with our daughter and at least try to do half of the day together, if possible. If possible, the whole day. But every other day, it's a to-do list. I'm checking his calendar. I'm still trying to get him to work on that. We're putting things in his calendar so that I can see where he's going, see what Gabby has, because she has a schedule herself. And the main thing is writing things down, because we may hear something and it's like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. I have to write it down. That's what keeps me in line. Those things are very important because you'll just get lost. The day will go by, you'll forget, man, I had that to do. But it's also put in line that family's important. And so before we go to bed, we'll always make sure we read a book to our daughter. So it's at least those small moments won't get lost in the busy day.
Excellent.
I'm taking notes over here too. That's nice.
You know what? Let me get my notes, my calendar out too. Family is important.
Right.
Yes.
Family is very
So
important.
Sade?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. There's a little lag. Am I good to answer, Sade?
Yes.
I didn't want to interrupt. Okay. I was just going to say that, like we already said, Google Calendar, that's key for me. I also do something called a self-reflection journal, and I typically, on Sunday nights, it's like my prep for the weeknight. So I'll look at the different roles that I play in life, being a fiance, being a sister, being a granddaughter, and I kind of map out my week according to those roles to make sure that I'm aligning my to-do list with my values and what's important to me. So I typically talk to my grandparents a few times a week. I have siblings who don't have our mother and father there with them. Our dad passed away years ago, and my mom is incarcerated. So I call my siblings. I'm helping my 17-year-old little sister with college. So I put those little things on my to-do list, and I'm making sure that everything, and at this point in my life, everything that I value, everything that I want to make time for, I integrate that with my to-do list. And it changes, of course, as you grow and as you evolve as a person. But that's my system now. Sunday night strictly dedicated to prepping for the week and doing a reflection of what goals I set for last week, if I accomplished them, and what I need to do better next week. And that really helps me to stay on point. And I've been doing that since January 1st, and it's been great. It's been great. Mm-hmm.
Preparation is the key. That is amazing.
Yes.
Terry, I mean, I don't know how she does it. I know her.
I don't either, honestly.
Story, and I'm like, I don't even know how she even does it. So I commend you, and tell your sister, contact me. I want to update.
Yes.
About
Yes, I will, Sade.
Definitely let her. Okay, so the question I have, now this question is about the past and, relationships. That's where we're supposed to go with this, because I know people want to know. For the women on the call, on the panel, who are in relationships, how do you make time for your significant other? I am in a relationship. I'm in a long-distance relationship. My boyfriend is at work right now, so he's not even watching. And he is driving me crazy. And I told him I was going to talk about him tonight. And so how do you, because I want to put him on a schedule, I said, we got to, we can't just talk whenever, because sometimes I'm in the library or I'm working on something for the business. I don't have time. And I understand that I need to make time for him too. He's important. And I want to put him on a schedule, but he's not feeling that. So how do you balance that, especially maybe for someone who's in a weird situation like me, being in a continuous long distance relationship? So how do you balance everything that you have going on and a spouse or a mate? How do you do that? Who wants to speak first?
As as cliche as it sounds, communication is key.
Yeah.
And Sade, my fiance and I, we did a year long distance. I was in Queens, New York. He was in Maryland, and we did a year traveling on Megabus, Greyhound. It was crazy, but it strengthened our relationship. And we had your boyfriend might have to get a schedule, Sade. We had a schedule. After work, we would speak.
You hear that?
We spoke.
Samuel, you need a schedule.
Show him the recap. Terry said he needs to get on the schedule because it's important. You guys have to communicate. You can't go, you can't go days without talking because you're long distance. We would talk after work, debrief. Arguments, we had to try to minimize those as much as possible because when you're long distance, what else are you going to do? You can't go in the room and he's in the other room. You have to make it work. So I think communication is key. FaceTime and Skype, priceless. I mean, you have to have FaceTime and Skype if you're long distance.
Yeah.
I think now living, right? I think now living with my fiance, we have great communication. He lets me know, like, all right, babe, you've been in there blogging for the past 10 hours. You're gonna come give me some attention, and I can't be selfish like I was when I was single and I didn't have to answer to anybody or make time for anybody. I have to go and be like, you know what, you're right. I was in there for about 10 hours. Let me come spend some time with you. So I think it's just all about communication and having a supportive partner. Because sometimes everyone doesn't have a supportive partner, and if you don't, you might have to cut that thing off. I'm just saying, you might have to cut, because you don't want anyone holding you back. And I was in a relationship before where they were a little jealous, and they were trying to pull me back from the things that I wanted to do. So you want to look out for those red flags as well.
Excellent. Who else wants to speak on this? We want to hear from you.
Well, to start with my laundry list, I mean, I'm in school trying to get my master's. I have my full-time job, and then I have a part-time job, and I do freelance design every now and then. And what else I do? I'm also very active in my sorority. So my boyfriend, I mean, we try to find time to. You really have to take advantage of any opportunity that you have, even if it's just I see you at nighttime and we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch a movie together, we're gonna spend some kind of time together. You just have to really take advantage of any amount of time, any amount of downtime that you do have. So sometimes I have to give up my sleep, even if I want to take a nap, just so we could, hang out for a little bit. Or a lot of times what we do, like movies are our thing. We love to go to the movies together, and we'll go to like matinee movies on Sundays or whatever. And that's just our thing, just because we're probably not doing anything early Sundays or early Saturdays. So we'll go and we'll spend time together just when we have that downtime.
Excellent. Who else? We got Mrs. Jakes.
Yes. Well, just like Terry, we were long distance for about 2 years. And that's when I was SJA president and he was in the band. So he's getting out of practice real late, so she's going to do the homecoming. And so we would do the Skype. Skype was definitely our thing. And we will also text each other throughout the day, just like, hey, thinking about you, those special moments. But now that we're, of course, living together, we love Sunday mornings because we're able to wake up a little later.
Yeah.
And we're just able to kind of like talk before Gabby wakes up, of course. But we're able to talk and just like de-stress. How was the week? What's going on? Or just funny things. Or remember when we were in college? I feel like we're old now, but but that was a time where we were just able to. It's just a nice Sunday morning before the day goes on, and it's not like a rushy morning. But those are definitely, just like Terry said, communication is key. If you're long distance, you have to have those special moments, that special text to just say, I was thinking about you today. You remind me how beautiful you are. I just want to be with you. That just makes you like, oh my gosh. I remember getting those texts and be like, oh, I feel so special. So you have to keep you got to keep the fire going. Because that's what keeps it like, I can't wait. I used to have a countdown calendar on my dry erase board saying 51 days until Adrian comes back to Maryland. So, and I would change it every day. So that was my momentum of just keeping it with each other.
Yeah, and to add on, I think you also have. I think what's very important is to be with someone who wants to see you win, and understands that it's going
Tweetable.
to take a lot for that, and
Mhm.
sometimes you may have to sacrifice things that that you don't really want to, but because he wants to see me at a point where I'm happy, he'll do
Mhm.
that.
Be with someone who wants you to win. Woo! That is a
I'm
tweetable.
tweeting it now.
Be with
Yes.
someone. What is our hashtag for tonight?
I've been hashtagging "Can women have it
Good
all?" and
question.
"Marching to greatness" in the same
Yeah,
tweet.
I
Excellent.
did savvy
I
greatness
think
Yes.
that
because
would
that's
be
what was on the
the
flyer.
same. Because
Savvy
that
greatness, is that it?
and it's so important. And I will
Yes.
send a special text while he's at work. He has a break at like 10. He was going to call me now, and I said, "Boo, I'm on this webinar. You can't call." So I will text him. And I guess I gotta, who said no sleep? He gets off at 4 o'clock, I think, Eastern Standard Time. So do I have to stay
Yeah,
up for that?
sometimes even if it's just for like 20 minutes, just to
Right.
recap the day. How was your day?
Right. Right.
Savvy don't
Mhm.
sleep, Julian. Savvy don't sleep. That's what I won't be sleeping tonight. Call me and I'll be up. Okay. So we heard about the people who are in relationships. Now I want to talk to our single gal. Yes, you're on the spot. What
Guys,
advice do you have for busy single women?
oh man, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Being so busy and single, it's like I don't know if anybody else follows the writer Demetria Lucas. She's a belle in
Mhm.
Brooklyn. She's very adamant about actively dating if you're looking to be dating. So if you're a busy girl and you want to be dating, you have to carve out that time to say, okay, I'm doing a cutie run on Saturday. I'm gonna carve out 2 hours and I'm gonna go hang out at this bookstore and I'm gonna go to this place or whatever and do my cutie run. Or if you're like I'm dating, actively dating, so I let them know off bat, like I'm a busy girl. I have to put you into my schedule, and I let them know very early. And the weak ones they fade away, so it makes it super easy. Like it makes it super easy, like to weed them out very early on because I need someone who's kind of understanding and flexible to say, okay, like I'm busy. I have class Wednesday and Thursday night. I have a sorority meeting Saturday morning. I've got like Sunday at 11:30. What do you like? What do you have?
Right.
So
Right.
it kind of helps weed out people that are not about that life. But I actively have to take out that time to say, okay, like go on a date or just trying to get pretty and be around some male energy. So I do it the same way I carve out time for everything else.
Excellent. This is so funny. You guys are doing an amazing job. What is my next question? What is one thing you think all women should have?
A
Whether it's something
journal.
tangible or intangible. Something that all women should have.
I think
Tough
take a
question.
risk. Take a risk. I know it seems, especially for planners like me, you have everything down to the T. My daughter definitely changed that for me because life is very unpredictable. And you have to just take a risk. If it's something that you're like, no, I would never do, try it. Be open minded and try it because you never know what life can bring you after that. Because I was like, no, I can't do it. I'm in school, and now I started the event planning business, and now I have like 3 weddings. So
Mm.
you just never know what your talents may have and the risk that you may go out to do. That now look at this, I have a business. So take a risk.
My one thing would be confidence, and this is I'm kind of looking myself in the mirror as I say this because Cassandra, don't do that. I see the faces that she's making. Because
Oh.
sometimes we may not be confident in our own abilities, um, the things that we're good at, and we're not giving ourselves enough credit. And if you don't believe in yourself, you can't sell yourself if you can't believe in yourself. So if you can't believe in what you're of what you produce, so confidence I think is key to moving forward.
And I think just to piggyback off of Nicole, I would say a support system, whether it's an advisor, a mentor, your significant other. I think a support system is important because when you have those moments when you aren't as confident, because I think we're all guilty of them. I know I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have that
Mhm.
confidence and you have someone who's rooting for you and who believes in you when you don't necessarily believe in yourself, I think that can be so powerful. I never in a million years thought that I'd ever have a blog or share my story online. And like Melissa was saying, she looked up and she's like, I have this business. I have a blog, you know, and that wouldn't have come if I didn't have the support of others and if I also didn't
Mm-hmm.
believe in myself. So I'd say a support system.
Well, my tangible thing was definitely I blurted it out before she even finished the question. Was a journal. Um, I write down my aspirations. I write down my fears. I like everything that I'm feeling that tends to like get messy. I just write it out, and that's just because that's the writer in me. I have to get it out somehow. When I'm not talking Cola's ear off or texting her like all day long, I write it in my journal before I go to sleep. I try to. But that also helps me to organize my passions and what needs to be priorities or what things I should be shifting, and to even just reflect on myself and what I need to be doing. So definitely a journal, and I keep a notebook. You know those Moleskine notebooks that the overpriced notebooks that everybody has.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love those
I have
things.
one.
Yep, I keep one in my purse everywhere I
Guilty.
go. I keep one.
Guilty.
An idea might strike you in like the strangest place, and you need to write it down. I promise you, the one of the ideas I came up with Nicole, I was literally washing my hands in the bathroom and ran out of the bathroom and was like, I have this idea. You keep a notebook everywhere you go.
Keep a
Yep.
notebook. I sleep with several notebooks because sometimes the ideas just come to you in your head and you need to
Mm-hmm.
write them down. So I think that's great advice for any person. Keep a notebook or a journal because you just never know when the genius is going to come to you. My next question is, what do you think is holding young women back today? What's holding us back?
Wow.
It may be
That's a tough
cliche.
one.
It may be cliche, but when I saw the question, I first said men, and it's not to be. It's not to. It's a tough. Yeah, I'm not trying to be cliche, but they're great, and we should have them. But it's also a time where sometimes too much of them, we're nurturers, just like Nicole said, we're nurturers. So we're going to nurture our men, and we're going to say, we're here for you, babe, we got it. And sometimes we can do too much of that and forget ourselves. So that's what puts us back sometimes. It's great to have that and support your man, but also you have to say, hold on now, am I losing myself? I can't put too much energy into you and forget about yourself, because then all your dreams are like, wait a minute, I'm like 50, what happened? So I would say that. Maybe a little touchy for some folks, but
No,
I,
I agree.
yeah,
Don't forget yourself. I'll write that down.
yeah.
I like the part
I
about
would say
balance
fear.
too. Who
I
else?
think fear is huge.
Mm,
Fear, Sade. Fear is huge, huge, huge. Oh man, how many of us have struggled, have not pursued a goal or a dream because we were fearful, because we thought the sky was going to fall, we thought that we were going to fail, all this stuff. But fear, I think fear is huge for a lot of women, including myself. And at the end of the day, I like to say fear is just false expectations appearing real. That's it. So it's all in your head. You're thinking that I'm gonna tweet that right now.
yes.
It really is, because at the end of the day, once you take that first little step and you actually pursue that goal or you accomplish that goal, you look back and you're like, oh, I can do that, and then you can do
Hmm.
the next big thing. So I think it's fear, and I think that we all, and I'm talking like Nicole said, I'm talking to myself when I say this as well. We all have to just feel the fear and do it anyway, because there are literally people out there waiting on our gifts, our message.
Hmm.
We just gotta go. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's another tweetable. Oh,
I
what
think
else?
something that's holding us back. I'm sorry.
What's holding us back?
Um, Complacency and comfort. I
Mm.
know that
Uh-oh.
that was a personal struggle for me. Um, Like, I'm talking from like personal experience, not the comfort of like even with getting out of college. I took the longest possible route getting out of college, not because I wasn't capable or it was hard or what have you, but because I knew my next 3 months were planned because my schedule was planned. Coming out of school, I didn't know what was next. I was scared. Like, I was just like, oh man, and that's where fear plays in. I was comfortable in that setting. I had mastered that setting because I didn't want to move on into the next setting. I was so comfortable being great in undergrad, not being great. So I think you have to step out on a ledge and really look around you and like step out of your zone. Look in your zone and say, am I just too comfortable? Are things just too easy? Am I not challenging myself? And you really just have to say, my future depends on me coming out of that complacency and, you know, just diving into moving forward. So don't hold back your own progression because you're comfortable.
There was a lot of tweetables. I'm going to have to rewatch that. Don't hold
Yeah,
yourself
that
back.
was good.
Woo! Those were a lot
That's
of
deep.
tweetables. Holding yourself
Right.
back. I know for me,
Wow.
fear, being comfortable, going overseas. I'll be talking about it, I think, in about 2 more weeks. We have a webinar about travel. Being overseas became comfortable. After 3 years, I knew what I was teaching. I knew what to do. I knew how to tell people off in Russian. I was straight. And I was getting to a place where this was becoming my new normal, and I said, enough is enough. Even last year, having this webinar, talking to you lovely ladies, that wasn't even in my head. I was not mentally prepared for any of this. But I got sick and tired of being afraid of my own shadow that I had to do something. I knew there was more to my life. I knew I had a greater calling, and I knew I had a purpose of bringing people together. So, and I knew all of this, but I was comfortable with doing what I was doing, what Sade thought she was supposed to be doing instead of what she was actually supposed to be doing. So a lot of things that are holding us back is fear, being afraid of our own shadow, and being afraid of what our greatness and not being able to take that to the next level. And you know what? Another one I just thought of, some of us are afraid of making money. We're afraid because being that all of us are entrepreneurs, some of us are afraid of being profitable. As women, we're afraid to talk about money. We
Right.
feel like the man is supposed to handle it, and I don't say that he should not handle it, but it doesn't say that we can't handle ours either.
Right.
And sometimes we don't take the leaps. We don't ask for raises because we're afraid that our work is not good enough to get a raise. We don't
Right.
are afraid to tell people what we're doing because we don't want to feel rejection. There's a couple of things. We're afraid of money, making it. We're afraid of our greatness. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of fear. And hopefully we will talk about how we can alleviate and overcome some of those things.
Oh, can I piggyback on that super quick? I
Yeah.
remember I was in another webinar when someone said, you know, we like to humble brag instead of just directly talking about what projects we're working on, instead of just, because a guy will go anywhere, whether or not he's an expert. I'm an expert at this. You should talk to me about it because I know. And we'll full on know about a topic or a subject, and we'll humble brag, oh, working on a project, but never talk directly about the project that we're working on. Feel free to brag. I mean, who else is going to sell you than you?
It is so
That's
important. Even today,
So true.
This is still a fear of mine, promoting this webinar. I didn't want to promote. I was like, oh, I'm sending out too many emails. I'm not. I just want to keep it on the low. Whoever will come, will come. We hope for things to happen instead of acting on those things to make them happen. If I never put it out there, if I never asked these lovely ladies to be on the panel, it never would have existed. It would have just been a thought in my mind. I wish these women would get together so they could talk and inspire and empower people, but I'm afraid to even do the first step and ask them to even participate. And even we always have that self-deprecating thought, who I call the inner hater, who tells us all of these negative things of why we can't do something and why we can't go to this place. And sometimes we got to turn that noise down in our minds and like Terry said, do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. start those new organizations and nonprofits and businesses, because it's our time. Women are starting businesses at a rapid rate. And especially African American women. We're becoming the most educated in society. We have the most degrees, which means we probably have the most debt. The money.
Amen.
Yes.
With the increase of single parent households with women running matriarchs, running these families, we really need to consider taking our lives, taking our finances, and taking the futures of our families into our own hands, so that they don't have to work as hard as we're working right now. So that's really what I'm trying to do.
I agree with that. Sade, can I add one more to that question? I just wanted to say, I think the excuse, I don't know how to do it. I think that's a huge setback for a lot of women and people in general. Like, oh, I don't know how to start a webinar. I don't know how to, start this blog. But we can't use that anymore. We can't do it because we have so many resources online. There are so many people out there. I mean, we have Google. And Google we trust. Like, you can look up anything on Google. You know what I mean? So we can't use the excuse, oh, I don't know how to do it anymore. I know, Sade, we've talked about this, starting, building websites and blogs, being up until the wee hours of the morning, YouTube and how to change something on your blog, on your website. And, that's a resource that we have to use. We just have to have the discipline to do that. So you can find a way.
I want to say that about the blog and the webinar, because Terry and I have talked about it. Terry revamped her website, and the first website was beautiful. This one is also beautiful. And I was like, how did you do it? And she said, I learned from Google, YouTube. It's really that simple, and it seemed like such a hard thing, but it was really that simple. And she just told me how to do it. Go on Google and figure it out, or go on YouTube. And I think I put it on Facebook. It's so amazing when you say what you want, how the universe and how people around you will conspire to make the things you want happen. Because I said on Facebook, I wanted a media kit. Cassandra said, okay, send me your stuff, I'll do your media kit. I needed to know how to do it. I looked at Terry's media kit and her press stuff to see how to do it. Because there's a template out there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And that's a lot of things with women. We believe we got to do stuff by ourselves and we got to reinvent the wheel. You don't. You have a team that's willing and ready to support you. You just got to let them know. You have to ask them. And sometimes people's power comes from being able to help you. That could be their purpose. There could be something that they are blessed with doing. I can't really do graphic design. But we got 2 people on the panel that do graphic design well. I don't have the patience for event planning. We have somebody who does event planning. I don't like to proofread. Guess what? We had somebody who proofread for me this week. Thank you so much. So when you want to do something, there are people that are out there that are willing and ready to help you. But you just have to ask them. You just have to let them know, because they don't know. You're going to be a blessing to them, and they're going to be a blessing to you, but you don't even know because you haven't asked that question. So sometimes, as women, we're not asking the right questions, and then we think we got to be qualified. That's another one. I can't be an event planner until I've planned events. Well, guess what? You can learn how to plan events once you start event planning.
Right.
I can't be a blogger until I start working under a blogger. Guess what? You're going to start learning. I started doing these webinars on, I think, January 11th. Guess what? I didn't know how to do them. There were some technical difficulties. There's still technical difficulties. But after, I think this is maybe the 5th or 6th one, we're doing better. And once we do the 100th one, we'll be even better. So don't think you have to be qualified in the beginning, because a lot of times the called will be qualified when you get called. Your calling is your qualification. You don't need to be qualified.
Okay. The call is for qualification. Yeah. Okay.
You better preach.
You don't even know.
You better preach.
Sunday, I know. There's some things that you don't even know that you can do, but you haven't done it yet, so you don't know. I have an example. I didn't know that I would like skiing until I tried to ski. The first time I was horrible. I fell down some mountains. We need to find the video and send it to Funniest Home Video, because that's going to be a $25 video. I was falling down mountains looking really crazy, but eventually I learned that I really enjoyed it. But I didn't know that until I had a different experience. So sometimes for women, we got to be willing to have different experiences. And a lot of us are not ready to have those experiences. We're cool and comfortable, like Cassandra said, with being in school and using that as our crutch. And we're not comfortable with doing something new. So I'm encouraging and I'm challenging everyone on this webinar, do something new. Find something that you are uncomfortable with doing and do it anyway.
Yes.
If that's networking, or if that's telling someone at the next event, oh, I'm an event planner, I'm a blogger, I'm a speaker, I do PR. Let people know what you do. Share your gifts, because guess what? There's someone out there that needs your help. There's someone out there that needs your services. And I'll say one more thing before I get back to my panel. That was something that happened to me today. Someone was looking for a life coach. And it was so crazy because I wasn't even going to promote in that particular Facebook group today. And someone said, oh, I'm looking for a life coach. And then someone tagged me to the message and said, oh, Sade Adu is a life coach. Contact her. If I never said I was a coach, if I never promoted and let people know what I was doing, no one would even know this is even possible. They wouldn't know. And it's been, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I keep going on a tangent. One more thing. Once you get comfortable and once you know when you hear that calling, also be ready to shift. And I'm going to put that out there in advance. There is a shift coming to Savvy Solutions, Savvy Life Coach. There's a shift. And be comfortable with that shift because it's okay. There's a shift coming, and I will keep you posted on that shift. I'm going to be quiet. Get back to our panel. I can go on. I know. That's the speaker in me. That's the calling.
I'm enjoying
it. And now it's all turned up. It's been 0 to 100. Now it's 100.
Real quick.
Real quick. Get it back to our panel. So we're almost at that 1 hour mark, and I want to respect everyone's time. So I want to kind of start winding down and ending our conversation with the last final question. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to get some Q&A from our audience. So it's on a slight time lag. Audience, please let us know your questions, and we're going to get your questions in here. We're not going to leave before we discuss with our group. We love talk back. So I'm going to give you guys a question, then I'll look at the chat box to see what our audience is saying to us. What is one thing that you would say to your younger self? Maybe, let's say, your 16-year-old self. What advice or what would you say to her?
Wow.
Your 16-year-old
girl, where the tissues at? Where the tissues at, y'all?
For almost everybody.
Ooh, Jesus.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. I remember a lot of people used to tease me in high school, and I didn't think I was a part of the popular crew. But being yourself, like, you're gonna be great. Don't worry. That high school stuff, that's nothing. So be yourself.
I'm still thinking. I'm sorry.
That's deep, girl. That's deep.
Your own self.
To a place. 16 was not pretty. Right. What would I tell my 16-year-old self? Get a grip. The world is not revolving on you. Work hard. Play hard. If you want to play hard, work hard. Because you can't talk stuff if you can't walk the stuff. Point blank, period. And know that you're capable. Know that you're capable. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not capable. You are capable.
You are capable.
Okay. So I would say it's going to be okay no matter what happens, and your past does not define you.
Oh my gosh, those words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. Right.
Girl.
I agree.
I'm just thinking about it now.
Your past does not define you.
Whew.
Who else didn't give us one? I don't know what I would say. What would I'll say? I don't know. Keep it up. Do what you got to do. We'll get easier. Life will be fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy high school. I think I feel like I did, but when I look back, I feel like I didn't. So I would say enjoy it. It won't last forever. So enjoy being young.
Oh. You know, they always used to say that, and I never got it because I was like, why? You can't do anything. But now I get it.
I get it now,
Girl.
too.
Yes.
Being an adult is hard.
Yes.
You know, it's hard, but also being young doesn't hold you back from anything. Because I see so many stories of these young entrepreneurs, like Mose Bowes. What is he, like 13 or 16
little
years
boy with the bow
old?
tie.
Has the bow
Oh,
ties
yeah.
and Neiman Marcus. Like,
That's that
Right.
little boy.
age
That's a
doesn't
little
hold
boy
you
that
back.
sells cookies or something.
Mr. Cool.
It can't hold
Yeah.
you back.
Yeah, him. He's so cute, too.
Yes.
He's from Jersey.
Look at the Jersey girl.
Sade on it. Go ahead, girl. Ooh.
Corey, I follow him on Instagram. He's awesome. He's somewhere like in Aspen on jet bikes.
Yeah, he is.
He's cooler than I'll ever be.
Yeah, he's,
Living a life. I want to be like him when I grow up.
that's, you know what? I'm glad you brought up the younger entrepreneurs because it's so funny. I'm like, I'm too young to do something. I feel like sometimes young women, we feel like our age holds us back. Like doing college and career coaching, I haven't spent time in corporate America. I don't need that. I mean, I have other qualifications. I spent a lot of time in college, so I know how to do that well. But the other part of it, how do I know that I can do that? And that's and I was like, sometimes I feel like I'm too young. And why would people who are older than me listen to me? And
But you don't have enough experience.
Oh, why would
that's my thing.
me, or why would men listen to me? And it's so funny. Men have been coming to me, talking to me about what they want to do, and I've been able to help them. And I'm like, that's not even my group.
Wow.
But you don't even know who's called to come to you.
Right.
And don't let your age stop you. Don't let any of our inner critics or our insecurities stop you. And there's another little girl. She wrote a book. She's like 17. One I personally know. She's in high school. She wrote her first book at 16, and she has a new book coming out. And I'm like, I'm supposed to write a book. And I know me and Terry have talked about this, and even Cassandra. And I'm like, you're in high school writing books, and I can't even get it together to write one.
Right.
So, understand that even though we think we're young, or some people on the other end of the spectrum, they think they're too old. You're never too old. You're never too young to learn or do something great. So don't use that as an excuse. That's my last comment. Live your life without regret. Reach the stars and know your worth. I'm looking at the comments. I know we had another comment from Tahira.
That's my last sister. Hey,
Going to hello, Tahira. I said it right. I'm glad. What's a life coach? Okay. So a life coach is, I call it as your personal accountability partner. There's someone you work with to help you accomplish your goals. What I like to do, I work specifically with women. Men do contact me, but I work specifically with women, college and career age, about 20 to 40 is the age range that I primarily work with. I work with people who are not 40. I work with people who are under 20, but those are my primary target audience, who are young professionals who are transitioning out of college and starting their careers. A lot of entrepreneurs come to me, and I'm seeing that is a calling. Since they're coming, I have to answer it. And we sit down and we talk about how we can make your life work. Whether that is we develop an action plan together. I give you some steps and tools and strategies to make your life work better for you. Because I believe that we should all work smarter and not harder. We've been told this lie that the harder you work, the more money you're going to make. You got to work harder. You got to work harder. No, we got to work smarter. What we do needs to work better for us, because working harder will only make us tired, and I don't want to be tired. Because Julian, Daddy don't sleep, so I don't want to be tired. So we developed some strategies on how we can make your life work better. Whether that is with I know we had one of those sessions with Terry. Terry, what do we have to do this week? When do we got to get these blogs out? And she's been doing some amazing stuff we just talked for one time. And then she also holds me accountable too. So being a coach is so important. When somebody's coaching you, make sure that they also have a coach. Coaches need coaches. That needs to be tweeted. Women need other women, and coaches need other coaches. I can't do any of the things that I do if I don't receive the support from all of the accountability partners that I have and the coaches that I have. being a doctoral student, I have an amazing advisor who supports everything that I do. I tell her, oh, I'm going to be out of town tomorrow night, and she will say, guess what, I'll see you at the airport. She's a world speaker, too. She's an amazing researcher. Gloria Latson Billings, shout out GLB. She's amazing. Her research has changed the way we think about African American children and educating them in Black excellence. Amazing woman. So when I say, guess what, I don't want to be a professor, she's like, okay, cool. I'll give you some strategies and people that you can look up who have PhDs but are not in the academy. So having people that support you. So I have academic people who support me, a team of female PhDs who tell me to stay in school. I also have entrepreneurial support. I have a coach who I've paid money to who is very supportive, and she does not cut me any slack. She does not cut me any slack, and I have a team of in my coaching program who don't cut me any slack. I'll give one thing I was supposed to do that I didn't do, and they all got on me. I was supposed to email a particular host of a particular show, and I asked the person, could I be on that particular show? And they said email them, and Miss Procrastinator did not email the person. I told my coach, some of you guys already know who that probably is. You can look at it and figure it out. Holla. We're going to see it again. It doesn't matter. So I was supposed to contact this person, and I didn't. And I told my accountability partners, and don't you know, the next day, even the same day, I got a text message. Did you call this person? Did you text them? Did you, handle your business? And I was shocked. I didn't know this person was even paying attention to what I was doing and listening, and they held me accountable. So that's another tip. Don't wait to the last minute. I have lost out on so many opportunities this year because I waited 2 weeks to follow up. Do not have poor follow through with it. I have put some money on the table, on the line.
Don't you know 2 weeks is enough notice to leave your job? You just left your job. You left your job.
Right.
I'm mad at myself.
Wow.
I'm going to lesson learned. I got one more that I did, and I'm going to put it out there because I'm being honest, because we're trying to have it all, and sometimes we need help.
Yes.
I applied. I had an advertisement out for a social media intern. Somebody wanted to be my intern, and I didn't follow up with her in time, and she got a new internship.
No.
We don't have it all together. And I'm being honest, and I'm being transparent because it's so important. I know y'all shaking your head on me. We're going to get another one. And she was going to do it for free. For free.
Right. I'm looking for a volunteer right now.
She's going to do it for free. She sent me her resume and everything. And I just want to say, don't be like me and have poor follow-through. Follow through on your dreams, believe in yourself, and know that you're enough. You can do it. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't, because you can. So I'm going to give it back to our panel. And do you have any last words? I don't see any more questions. I'll wait for some more, but do you have any last words for our our audience? Any last comments?
Yes. I have one last comment, and it's so short and simple and sweet, but profound, I think, in my life it has been. So I would say that is just to remember that everything you need is already within you, and you have access. Everything you need is around you. You got it. So just go forth and make it happen.
Everything you need is within you. You have it.
There you go.
One of my favorite quotes is, life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself.
I like that.
Create the person you're supposed to be. Excellent.
Right.
I think my takeaway, I say this to, I used to say this to my younger leading ladies at Morgan. Shout out to Morgan State leading ladies. All the time. Share your story. It is so important to share your story. You don't know who is going to touch. You don't know who's going to come out and help you. You just don't know. When you share your story, when you share your truth and you share your testimony, like, there is so many rippling effects from that. You just do it. When you show up to a group of people, just share your story.
Excellent.
And mine is just believe in your greatness. Believe in whatever it is that you love to do, that you're passionate about, that just makes you happy. Believe in it.
Excellent. I am so happy that you guys have shared with us. I have one announcement, and then we will be wrapping up. So this Marching to Greatness webinar series, let me turn it back to me. This webinar series is, I wanted to do this to build momentum for the things that women create vision boards for. And I will be having a live event. I don't know if you can see the pop-in, Spring into Greatness. It will be on March 4th in Maplewood, New Jersey. Yes, Sade Adu will be back in New Jersey. I am so excited. And we'll
May
be
4th?
creating these vision boards together. It's called Spring into Greatness, the ultimate vision board and networking experience. If you can come, I am so excited. It is $25. It is amazing what you can do and plan from, I'm in Wisconsin right now. It is amazing what you can do and plan when you're not in the state. But I will be back there planning this event. I have a great team that's working on the ground for me. And I am so excited to be sharing your vision and working on these things because I wanted to do this series to inspire people to have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to also not just give you the vision because a lot of us, we have these journals, we do our vision boards. I think I have one. Where is my vision board? I must have looked. Oh, here's one. I made one, a corkboard one, 2 sessions ago. Vision boards made easy. Oops, can you see? Excellent. And I want us to make these things together because you need to be in a room with like-minded people. In addition to making them, completing them. That's the key to vision boards. You have to complete them. And then you got to take the next step. You got to hang it up. You got to see it every day because we need constant motivation as women. We get these negative images on the media that tell us that we're not worth anything, tell us that we're not great, that we're incompetent, that we can't do it. So we need constant motivation and constant reminders, and we need to take constant action. So completing the vision, seeing it visually, and posting it up and doing something every single day and affirming our vision is the way that we will make our vision come true. This is my fitness one. So once, and I did it on a corkboard because once my health and fitness goals change, I can just, remove them and add something else to it. So this is a great way if you want to do a fitness and health board. We will be doing the regular boards with the magazines and the paper. And I want people to come. If you know people that are going to be in New Jersey, please encourage them to come. springintogreatness.eventbrite.com. There's some information about it on Instagram and on Facebook, and I will be promoting it more. And
say the date again because you said March 4th.
Oh, I did April 4th.
April 4th, okay.
April 4th, and I said May.
April 4th, the day before.
Right, I thought she meant May.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that, April 4th. And I will be doing some better promotion for that. So we can make sure April 4th, 2015. So I hope to see people there. Tell your friends that are in New Jersey and New York to please come out. I know we got some people coming from North Carolina. Wisconsin is very jealous because I'm not doing it here, but we're going to have to do that another day. I want to thank our panelists one more time, and I want to give them the opportunity before we exit to tell everyone how they can connect with you. How can we stay connected to you out there in this Twitterverse, Instagramverse, Facebookverse? So give us your handles. Let us know how we can contact you. And if we're interested in your services, how can we contact you?
Okay, I'll start. I'm Kay Was Here on Twitter, Instagram. Kay Was Here is my website where I used to blog, but now I figure I should start blogging again. So there's that. kmonsanto@gmail is my thanks guys, is my main email account. You can email me any sort of questions there, and that's how you can find me. Kay Was Here is everywhere.
Kay Was Here. X lag on your internet. I hope it's not mine. No.
I think
Hello?
it is.
Okay,
great.
Okay, you're back.
I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'll go.
Okay.
My handle at rescue_event for Twitter, Facebook, Rescue Event Planning, rescueeventplanning@gmail.com, and Instagram is rescue_event_planning. That's how you can find me. Or Melissa Jakes on Facebook.
Excellent. Who is next?
Terry, you can go. You was already going to speak.
Thanks, girl. So, hi everyone. You can find me on Twitter at Terry Lomax. That's TerryLomax. You can also find me at terrylomax.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else at Mocha Girls PS.
And if you are not following Mocha Girls Pit Stop, please do. She has some great tutorials. Can you tell us about, I know I didn't ask you about this in advance, I forgot. You have a planner to help women plan their lives and get it in order. Can you please tell us? Let's plug it.
Yes, yes. So if you head over to terrylomax.com, click on resources, and you can find the 2015 goal mapping workbook, which has been amazing for me this year. This has been the best 3 months of my life from January to now. So mapping workbook, you can find that, and then you can also find the 2015 self-reflection journal, which allows you to just reflect on each week of your life from now until December 31st so that you can accomplish all of your goals and dreams. So that's terrylomax.com. Thanks, Sade.
Get this goal mapping workbook. I've used her resources before. I told you it changed my life. It really got me to think about what I needed to do and take the next steps. So please get it, I guess, Cola.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Cola Said What. On Instagram, what's my Instagram? Baddie Cola, BADDIE Cola. You can find me, I'll give you my Gmail, on Gmail, nicole.cola3@gmail.com.
Excellent. Please contact these ladies. They'll be very nice to you. They'll talk to you. Where can you find me? Sade Wayadu at Sade. What is it? Sade Yabrago on Twitter and on Instagram. I know I should have made it a little bit shorter, but it is what it is. Shade ShadeYaABirago. And thank you so much, beautiful people, for participating, for staying on this long, for feeling like your time was worth spending with us. Always remember to do more, be more, and accept your greatness. I am Sade Adu, the Savvy Life Coach, and I would like you to have a wonderful night. And we are out.